compatriots, Nigeria call obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, in freedom.
I never let people call me a single mom by my title. I'm Lisa Nichols, who happens to be a single mother. Don't define me by my circumstances. Define me by my intention. But my biggest accomplishment is being willing to give myself 1,000 second chances. And every time I got to 999, I pressed reset. I went to the same conference 42 times. And there I raised $532,000 in capital for my company to start my dream. And my dream was to transform teen lives. I got fired from 5 different jobs. I was broke and I was broken. Yeah. And then I got pregnant with my son unexpectedly. And then at 8 months, my son's father went to prison. I went to the ATM to get $20 out the bank because I didn't have any Pampers for him. And in order to get $20 out, you got that $20 in. I had $11.42. For 2 days, I had to wrap my son in a towel. And I have my hand on his stomach saying, "Don't you worry, Jaylani. Mommy will never be this broke again." And I looked at that baby at 8 months and I said, I want to transform your life because you didn't ask to come into this chaos. Come on. As an African-American male child in South Central Los Angeles, with a single mother whose father's in prison, he had a 66% chance of going to prison himself. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. So if I have to be willing to drastically transform myself so that I can become the woman that I know I can be. I was bankrupt and trying to not ask anyone for help. I was bankrupt in everything that was holding me and keeping me where I was. I've always talked a good game, but I wasn't doing anything with my gift. And all that thing about potential, I was tired of having potential. I wanted to have my now. My grandmother said that conviction and comfort don't live in the same block. If you're going to be convicted about something, you might have to go through some discomfort. But if you want to stay comfortable, why don't you just relax where you are, because that's where you're going to stay. Right. And so are you willing to reinvent who you are? Are you willing to kill away the procrastination? Are you willing to kill away the excuses, the blame game? Yeah. I didn't ask permission. I gave notice. Yeah. At some point, I have to stop asking, can I be great? Can I be brilliant? Can I be okay and still be accepted? I just stopped asking permission and just gave notice unapologetically, not in a braggadocious way, not in a way that shrunk anyone else, in a way that said, I only got one life, and I'm gonna ride this one till the wheels fall off. And it didn't come from, a motivational experience. It didn't come from an inspiring teacher. It came from hitting rock bottom. And that was the beginning of me rescuing myself. I realized that I am my rescue. No one else is my rescue. I am my rescue.
Wow. Finally, the moment is here. I am really delighted on behalf of Team Womanity to welcome you to the Womanity Conference 2020. It's our maiden conference, and I am really, really happy to have your company at this time. Why Womanity and why now? It actually started during the lockdown when the world was falling apart and everything that held us bound was exposed. So I decided not to waste the opportunity of a global pandemic. I am sure you have done many things in this time of the pandemic. So Womanity is bringing you the opportunity to serve the world in your best capacity, wherever you're located, with whatever skills, whatever talents, whatever your gender is, serve humanity its best experience. The opportunity is here and the time is now. So, what really is Womanity? Womanity, as I love to call this great initiative, is about exposing, challenging, and eliminating the stereotypes that have held us bound, both when men and women, to certain limiting standards. And Womanity is here to open our minds to how each and every one of us can complement one another. We are recognizing that women are not better than men, neither are men better than women, but we are better together. We indeed are better together. So, the Womanity Conference is a global conference and an opportunity where business leaders, speakers, thought leaders, world's best standard, brightest minds have come from around the globe to converge, to shed light on how we can all achieve relevance in whatever we do, while showing the world that no matter the color of your skin, your background, your location, your cultural beliefs and traditions, you indeed are limitless. This conference will discuss leadership, business, career, your relationships, both romantic relationships and your work relationship. It will challenge your present mindset through the concept of complementarity. Our theme character for this maiden conference is herself, Harriet Dogman. We'll get to know more about her. For more information on the Womanity Initiative, kindly visit www.thewomanityinitiative.com. www.thewomanityinitiative.com. So we are here now, and I'm thankful to have you in my company. I am really delighted at this time to have with me Modupe, Ekemini, Sifon, and Nse. So congratulations to Team Womanity. We have more persons that were expected today. We have not fewer than 6,500 registered participants to this conference. So guys, are you up for the ride? Join me as we welcome our first speaker, Raya Story. Give me a second and watch the video here. Have fun, guys. I welcome you.
Introducing our keynote speaker, Rhea Story. Rhea is a motivational leadership speaker, TEDx speaker, and author of 13 books, including Leadership Gems for Women. Rhea has nearly 20 years of experience in leadership and management, including more than 10 years in administrative healthcare, working as a director of compliance for a large healthcare organization. Rhea is a certified leadership speaker and trainer. Rhea founded Fearfully and Wonderfully Me, empowering women to become the leaders that they are destined to be. Rhea shared powerful leadership principles, and tools of transformation for her journey to equip and empower women, helping them maximize their potential in life and leadership. Speaking on changing times and changing identities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rhea Story.
Thank you. Eric Hoffer said, "In times of change, learners inherit the earth, while those who have learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists." We're without a doubt in a time of incredible change. 2020 brought unprecedented change to all of us, both on a professional level and a personal one. And those who learn and grow and change will be able to find and leverage the opportunities that exist. But how does that affect our identity? The word identity means who you are, your personality, and your individual characteristics that make you, you. Much of our identity is formed without us even realizing it. Your childhood helped form your identity, either positively or perhaps negatively. Your religious and even your political beliefs are influenced in some way by your upbringing. Your perception of what's good or what's bad is influenced by your experiences and to some degree your circumstances. I speak to this more in my book, Fearfully and Wonderfully Me, Become the Woman You Are Destined to Be. Because even some of our habits, such as when you eat or sleep or what you eat, can be influenced by past and present external circumstances. Notice that I said influenced and not determined. You see, no one can create your identity except you. The problem is that most of us allow our identity to be influenced by default, meaning that we don't intentionally create our identity. But you can. You can intentionally choose what your identity will be and who you will become. Let me give you an example. There was once a 12-year-old little girl, very shy and quiet. She didn't have many friends, and she didn't talk to the ones that she had. See, she was afraid if she did talk that someone would find out what Daddy was really doing when he tucked her in at night. Now, she had been told that she shouldn't tell anyone because they wouldn't understand. And she didn't understand. And I still don't understand. My father started sexually abusing me when I was 12 years old, and it progressed as I got older and as he got bolder. By the time I was 17, he was regularly having sex with me and would bargain with me for sexual favors in exchange for something like a night out with my friends. He always said he wanted to give me the ultimate experience in life, in his words. And that meant a lot of different things. Sometimes it was taking nude photographs of me. Sometimes it was beating me black and blue with a riding crop. And sometimes it was trafficking me to men he would meet off the internet. Well, there were times in life when it was almost not worth living back then. And I thought about it. I thought about a tub of warm water and a razor blade. Now, I left home when I was 19. At 19 years old, I met a knight in a shiny Camaro. And 20 years later, we've long since traded the car. But I kept him. I married him. But I didn't have anything when I left home. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a high school diploma. I had never been to school. But you see, we can take what happens to us in times of change and in life, and we can be bitter about it, or we can be better because of it. Now, the key to that is that growth in the face of adversity and challenge and change, and in changing times, we must be intentional about changing our identity through maturity and through character development. Instead of allowing our identity to be changed by the circumstances. Because if you don't determine your identity, other things and other people will. Abraham Maslow said, "In any given moment, in times of change, we have two choices: to step forward into growth or to step back into safety. Now, after I left home, the only job that I could find was working as a waitress. And I was working as a waitress in a pizza restaurant, making $2.13 an hour plus some tips. $2.13 an hour to pick up half-eaten pizza crusts off the floor and to bust dirty tables. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. We all start somewhere, and that was my start. But it didn't take me long to figure out that's not what I wanted the rest of my life to look like. But I knew I didn't want to create an identity as a victim. The greatest mistake that we can make in life and in our success is adopting a victim mindset, is creating our identity as a victim, of using something that we've gone through or our circumstances that we find ourselves in as an excuse for why we cannot do and have and be what we want to do and have and be. Don't use our circumstances as an excuse. Your excuses don't serve your dreams. So I started working, going to college, and I had to earn my GED and go to school and take some classes and some community college classes. And, I found another job and I worked my way up. And it took me 10 years to get done going to college to get the degree that I finally graduated with. 10 years of going to college on nights and weekends and working full time, and sometimes 2 jobs even, sometimes 7 days a week. But I wasn't going to create a life built around being a victim. I knew that my excuses would only hold me back if I let them, and I wasn't going to do that. I set my goals high and started working to achieve them. In 2013, I heard motivational speaker Les Brown speak. He was speaking to a whole room full of people. But I was sitting in that room. And he says to this whole room full of people, he says, "You have a story to tell. And someone needs to hear your story. And only you can help that person." And I thought, I've got a story to tell, but I don't want to tell it. You see, I had created an identity as someone who was an achiever. I didn't want people to see me as being a victim. I didn't want people to know what I had been through. I didn't want people to know my story. But in times of change, as Abraham Maslow said, we can step forward into growth or step back into comfort and safety. And see, that was a defining moment for me. I chose to step forward into growth and redefine myself, not as a victim who'd been through something, but as someone who'd been through something and come out stronger and better on the other side. Now, my story is unfortunately not that uncommon, but my story may not be your story. But I guarantee that you've been through something challenging. And certainly 2020 has brought a lot of challenge and a lot of change for all of us. The question is, what will you do about it? Who will you become because of it? In changing times, we're forced to change our identity. But see, here's the key. We form an identity around lasting values and principles of growth and success and influence. And that gives us a permanent foundation and the confidence to be authentically ourselves. And in that case, when change happens, we can step forward into growth, not allowing our external circumstances to change our identity, but maturing our identity and becoming more and more of who we have the potential to become. Stephen Covey calls it being proactive. He says that between stimulus and response, human beings have the freedom to choose their response. In times of change, we always have 2 opportunities or 2 ways that we can face change. We can face it proactively, choosing to grow and adapt and look for the opportunities, and we will find them. Or we can respond reactively. When we respond reactively, that means that we respond on the emotions of the moment. Now, we're human, and there's no doubt we have feelings and emotions, but those feelings and emotions don't always serve us well. I know I'm not the only one who said or done something based on emotions of the moment and later realized that didn't work so great for me. You see, we do have these feelings and emotions, but it's Andy Stanley that reminds us that our feelings are terrible leaders. Right? It's learning that we have those emotions, particularly in times of change, but we don't have to necessarily respond to them. You see, change always brings with it fear. There could be a lot of different ways that this fear manifests. It could be fear of loss, fear that change is going to bring something that you don't like. It could be fear that you're not going to like the new situation, right? But most of our fears are never realized. And if we allow those fears to influence us and hold us back, then in some way we're allowing that fear to influence our identity. You see, it's the little choices that we make that help us create that lasting sense of identity based on who we are, our solid values and principles of character. And the more solid our foundation is, the easier it is to grow through change instead of just going through change. Right? It's really that ability to step forward into growth instead of stepping back into safety. Because growth is never comfortable, but that is where all of our opportunities are. Change challenges us. It certainly brings with us the challenge of adapting to a new situation. And that challenges us because it forces us to cross the gap between now and the potential of the future. And that can be scary. That can be a place of uncertainty. But it also comes with incredible opportunities to redefine ourselves and to grow through that. Right? And as Eric Hoffer said, times of change, learners inherit the earth. It is those who are able to learn and respond proactively and grow through change, right? That allows us to change, to mature our identity rather than just changing it, right? The thing about change is that change is not always permanent. Transformation is. And changing times, it's the ability to step forward that allows us to grow through that into lasting transformation. And that's really the key. You see, now that we realize that we can respond and choose our response based on what's going on around us, the key is choosing that right response. Right? Eleanor Roosevelt said, "I am who I am today because of the choices that I made yesterday." And that's absolutely true. But that means that who you will be tomorrow is based on the choices that you make today. But if we're not intentional about creating that and making those choices and making the right choices, see, the thing about those choices is they always come with consequences, either positively or negatively. And in changing times, our choices become even more critical because then they do have the potential to become those defining moments that allow us to transform into our potential. Our potential is realized just one choice at a time. And in times of uncertainty, it feels like sometimes there's a fog, right? And when that happens, we have to narrow our focus sometimes, asking ourselves, what is just simply the one thing that I need to focus on right now? I guarantee you, if we focus on just moving forward in times of change, committed to growth and moving forward, even if it's just one small step every single day, that allows us to step forward into the future. When we create that identity on a lasting foundation of these principles, we learn to work with them. You see, our leadership is the language of influencing other people, right? And our response to times of change is either going to increase our influence or decrease it. And the opportunities are there, but how we respond is going to determine, are we building influence and leveraging those opportunities, or are we decreasing our influence? The thing about influence is we all want more of it. You think of any time in life when you were mad or sad or frustrated, it's never because you had too much influence in that situation. It's always because you didn't have enough influence and you wanted more of it. But we don't always think about how we respond in changing times allows us to build more influence and create an identity of someone who is better because of what they've been through. There's always the opportunities. So in 2013, after hearing Les Brown speak and saying that you have a story to share and someone needs to hear it, I made the decision to share my story for the first time publicly. And in 2014, I stepped forward into growth and I shared my story from the stage publicly. Because I don't share my story so anyone will feel sorry for me. I share my story so that everyone can look at me and say, if she can overcome what she went through, so can I. 10 days later from that, I resigned from the job that I'd gone to college for more than 10 years to get. Because I realized I wanted to make a bigger difference. Now, I didn't know back then that I'd be speaking to all of you at the Womanity Initiative Conference. But I knew I wanted to make a bigger difference. And for me, I discovered the difference between a career and a calling. Mark Twain says the two greatest days in your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. And part of discovering your why is creating your identity intentionally around your purpose and stepping forward into that purpose and living it out every single day. In that case, we're not changing our identity in times of change, but rather leveraging changing times as an opportunity to develop more fully into the person that we have the potential to become. No one can create your identity except you. No one could create my identity. You see, it is always a choice. We can create an identity and build an identity, but it's got to be built around something that's lasting. If we try to create an identity around something material, that's not lasting. And it doesn't have a long-term foundation that will serve us well. It will crumble sooner or later. That's why it's so important in times of change to learn to grow through that. I love the concept of growing through something, right? As we go through adversity and uncertainty and times of change, they influence us, right? The things that happen in life influence us. There's absolutely no doubt. The things that you have gone through this year have influenced you. But it doesn't determine you. Only you can decide if you're going to allow it to influence you in a positive way or a negative way. Are you going to come out better because of this year or bitter about it? It's absolutely a choice. See, here's the thing. Choosing those positive responses, choosing to be proactive in changing times, allows us not only to grow and adapt and to change, but also to find the true joy in our life. In 2013, when I discovered my why, and I stepped forward into that growth, it allowed a lot of opportunities, and there have been a lot of choices since then. And here's the thing about choices, and particularly in changing times, we won't always get them right. And the key is not to beat yourself up about the choices that you don't always get right, but to learn from them, right? Learning as much from our mistakes as our successes, perhaps even more. Perhaps learning even more from our mistakes, but also learning not to repeat them. Learning how they can make us better. And that's the only way to step authentically into our potential and who we have the potential to become. As we think about that, and as you go through the rest of today's speakers and the rest of the conference today, I just want to encourage you to consider that every single experience that we go through, everything that influences us is always an opportunity to be stronger and better because of it, right? Changing times allows us those opportunities to grow through them. Not so much changing identity as developing ourselves, developing our character, because character determines as much as 90% of our success in life and our influence with other people. That's really where it comes down to. When we want to become more successful, particularly in times of change, we have to respond with our character. See, our competencies are the things we know how to do, our skills and our abilities. Those are important. But in times of change, it's really the foundation of our character, our identity, what makes us uniquely you, because that's what determines how we respond. And that's what determines if we are stepping forward into growth. When we create our identity around lasting values and principles of growth, success, and influence, it gives us that permanent foundation and the confidence to step forward into the future. Times of change can be scary, but when we have that permanent foundation, we can step forward confidently. And in that case, we're not changing our identity in times of change so much as leveraging those changing times as an opportunity to step forward more fully into the person that we are destined to be. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of today's events.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Raya's story.
Absolutely.
Guys, you've heard from Raya. She's told you simply that in times of change, learners inherit the earth. She's also told us that what you go through only influences who you become and never determines it. So it is you becoming intentional about who you are and who you intend to be. So go ahead and leverage community at this time, leverage the change that you're witnessing at this time, and mature your identity and serve humanity its best experience. Are you looking to becoming greater, doing better? That is what humanity is about. Think about going on a long journey of discovery with a map in your hand. And imagine you, instead of having a map, going hand in hand with someone who has been there many times over. Humanity is that place where you will always have someone hold your hand and take you through your journey of discovering, developing yourself, and delivering your best to humanity. That is what we are about. So please stay tuned as we take a short video and remain thankful for today. God bless you.
I never let people call me a single mom by my title. I'm Lisa Nichols, who happens to be a single mother. Don't define me by my circumstances. Define me by my intention. But my biggest accomplishment is being willing to give myself 1,000 second chances. And every time I got to 999, I pressed reset. I went to the same conference 42 times. And there I raised $532,000 in capital for my company to start my dream. And my dream was to transform teen lives. I got fired from 5 different jobs. I was broke and I was broken. Yeah. And then I got pregnant with my son unexpectedly. And then at 8 months, my son's father went to prison. I went to the ATM to get $20 out the bank because I didn't have any Pampers for him. And in order to get $20 out, you got that $20 in. I had $11.42. For 2 days, I had to wrap my son in a towel. And I have my hand on his stomach saying,
hold on. So guys, welcome back. In order for her to get $20 out, she had to put $20 in. What are you willing to put in as you intend to draw out? We are reading comments at this time. This is so beautiful. Kudos to the organizers. This is coming from Tina Ogugo. Tina, thank you. Sifonudo, thumbs up. Ogenegwe, Dimpo, Chikedirin, nice start. Thank you. Thank you. And from Modupe, from Port Harcourt, she is saying fantastic. Ekewini is watching us from Uyo in Nigeria. Sifon is live from Akwa Ibom State. Thank you. Oh, thank you. From Gladys Aguay, Georgia. Thank you, Gladys, for joining in. And Lee Besunje is joining us from Abia State in Nigeria. You're welcome. Oh, Tina is from Lagos in Nigeria. Thank you. Chimezia is watching from Calabar, Nigeria. Oh, Pretty is watching from Sweden. We welcome you. Thank you. Abiola Shiremekun, my diamond sister, she's watching from Lagos, Nigeria. Oh, Idon Sedmedo, my angel sister, she's on the call from Uyo. Powerful story that will help many to know they are not the product of their circumstances, but their decisions. to want better and their willingness to go after better. Thank you, Gladys. I hope we are all encouraged. Pamela Academy is joining from Lagos. You're welcome, Pam. Queen Chinedu Emeka, that's my pretty sister, joining us from Lagos. Basibasi Junior, so good to be a part of this inspiring event. Thank you, team. Thank you. Okoro Dudu, your excuses don't serve your dream. Thank you, ID. Oh, Blessing Photo is watching from our choir room. Thank you, my sis in love. A very powerful opening to the conference. I thank you, Modi. Thank you. Oh, Hanson Johnson joining from our choir room, my awesome digital brother. Thanks so much, Ria, for sharing your story. That's from Okoro Dudu. Joy of celebration. Feelings are indeed terrible leaders. That's coming from Joy. She's joining us from South Africa. You grow through change. You grow through change. That's from ID. One small step every day. That's all it takes. Thank you. Becky Odungide Cindy. She's joining us from Akwa Ibom. She's part of the team. Welcome. Thanks, Rhea. Thanks, Rhea. Thanks, Rhea. Thank you, Rhea. Ivan Miki. Growth is intentional. Thank you, ID. Tony Lynch. Thank you, Rhea. Great talk. Thank you for sharing. Leo at TVA. Oh, men are not left out. Leo from Hello, boss. Good evening. Wow. So many comments, many more that we cannot take at this moment. So guys, the conference is on. Please take advantage of this awesome fortune packaged for you for free. Connect. Enjoy your time. Thank you.
So what does it take to live to 100 or beyond? As you will see, the answer is not what we expect. Julianne Holt-Lunstead is a researcher at Brigham Young University, and she addressed this very question in a series of studies of tens of thousands of middle-aged people, and she looked at every aspect of their lifestyle, their diet, their exercise, their marital status, how often they went to the doctor, whether they smoked or drank, etc. She recorded all of this, and then she and her colleagues sat tight and waited for 7 years to see who would still be breathing. And of the people left standing, what reduced their chances of dying the most? That was her question. So let's now look at her data in summary, going from the least powerful predictor to the strongest. Whether you're lean or overweight, you can stop feeling guilty about this because it's only in third place. How much exercise you get is next, still only a moderate predictor. Anybody here know that having a flu vaccine protects you more than doing exercise? And getting towards the top predictors are two features of your social life. First, your close relationships. These are the people that you can call on for a loan if you need money suddenly, who will call the doctor if you're not feeling well, or who will take you to the hospital, or who will sit with you if you're having an existential crisis, if you're in despair. Those people, that little clutch of people, are a strong predictor, if you have them, of how long you'll live. And then something that surprised me, something that's called social integration. This means how much you interact with people as you move through your day. How many people do you talk to? And these mean both your weak and your strong bonds. So not just the people you're really close to who mean a lot to you, but like, do you talk to the guy who every day makes you your coffee? Do you talk to the postman? Do you talk to the woman who walks by your house every day with her dog? Do you play bridge or poker or have a book club? Those interactions are one of the strongest predictors of how long you live.
Introducing our speaker, Sina is the founder of John Lugard's Consulting Services, a leadership and personal development training and consulting firm in Nigeria. Tina Ogbugo is a leadership expert, certified and licensed by the John Maxwell team for proven expertise. She's an executive director of the team, a certified coach, trainer, and speaker. She's gone ahead to be certified as a Maxwell Method of DISC Human Behavioral Consultant, a certified Global Priority Solutions Facilitator for Roundtable Methods of Leadership Values. Tina Ogbugo is a solution-based servant leader and consultant who helps individuals and organizations to close the gap between where they are and where they want to be. Her career spans 23 years in the banking and human resource management sector of corporate Nigeria. She is passionate about helping people, inspiring them to reach new heights in their life and businesses through changing the mindsets and belief systems. Tina serves on the President's Advisory Committee of the John Maxwell team as a committee lead for youth development and leadership programs. She's the initiator of Living Life by Design and On Purpose podcast. She's also an on-air radio show host with IBGR, an internet radio for business people. Tina has a master's degree in international human resource management from Kingston Business School, London. She's an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development, United Kingdom, a member of the Center for Organizational Leadership and Development Network in Africa, as well as a member of the National Institute of Marketers in Nigeria. She's been privileged to accompany Dr. John Maxwell and 250 transformational coaches from different countries at the requests of the country's presidents to conduct transformational leadership training in Paraguay and Costa Rica. Tina enjoys traveling, music, reading, and spending quality time with family. Speaking on emotional intelligence, a complementary skill. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tina Ogbugo.
Here you have her, Tina Ogbugo.
Hello, everyone.
You're welcome, darling.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Woman Initiative. I am super excited to be here at this conference. Welcome to everyone who is watching on the different platforms and from whatever part of the world you are in. So it may be morning, afternoon, or evening. I say welcome to you on this lovely Saturday. This is a conference that speaks into how we live our lives. How do we relate with one another? And I'm so proud of my sister Eunice for putting this together. Thank you so much, Ria Story, for sharing your story and for kicking off this conference. Amazing story there. I was speaking on emotional intelligence as a complementary skill. It would do us good to start with defining what emotional intelligence and what complementary skills are. But I would want to start with a quote from Maya Angelou. I have learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. And that's what emotional intelligence is all about. Our feelings. So emotional intelligence, it refers to a set of competencies that support our ability to manage ourselves and our relationship with others. As human beings, we're constantly seeking to influence people. We desire to be influential. But many times we fail to realize that this is a very fundamental element in human behavior that is not just distinct, but it is different from pure intelligence, but also very essential. The ability to use emotions to form an optimal relationship with yourself and others is so important. I'll share a story. As a little girl growing up, aced my scores in school, went to university very early. But then, in my third year in the university, I had some issues with a lecturer because he wanted to have some sexual relationship with me, which I was very adamant not to give into. And what happened with that was that I had to spend an extra year in that school. Looking back on that now, I mean, for a very long time, I could not share the story. It was a part of me that was hidden. It was something I felt I could have made other choices. I blamed myself that I had to spend an extra year in school. And I carried that guilt for a long time. And I'm sure many of us can relate with that. We blame ourselves for things that happen to us, things that happen in our lives. But life is only 10% of what happens to us. How we react to them, how we respond to them, is what makes up the other 90%. And our choices that we make is what defines us. The decisions we make today is what will help us build a better and a stronger tomorrow. And so, how is emotional intelligence a complementary skill? I mean, complementary, when we look at the word complementary, what it says is that it's just a combination of things put together, a coordinated effort to bring about how we relate in life. And so for us to actually begin to see emotional intelligence as a complementary skill, we have to look at how do we react, how do we act with ourselves and with other people. There are two major components of emotional intelligence. It's about self and then the social aspects. But until you understand yourself, until you know who you are, until you discover who you are and what your why is in life, you will not be able to form good relationships with people. You will not be able to have lasting relationships with other people. And that's why this quote from Dale Carnegie actually speaks to me. When dealing with people, remember you're not dealing with creatures of logic, but with creatures of emotion. We have to put emotion into perspective in everything that we do. When we start with the self, who you are, knowing who you are, understanding your own emotions, how self-aware are you? If you look at the emotional intelligence quadrant, which was discovered by Daniel Goleman in his competency model, the quadrant consists of 4 different components. There is the part that is self, and then there is the part that is social. And so if you start with the self aspect, the first thing you want to think about is self-awareness. How self-aware are you? How do you know your emotions, understand your own emotions, recognize your emotions and the triggers, and then their effects? It is very important that you identify your strengths and your limits. To have a strong sense of self-worth, and to know what your capabilities are. In other words, building your self-confidence. Now, this is not something that is achieved in a day. And so you may be saying, oh, yes, I've tried this, I've tried that. You never stop trying. We are all a work in progress. But for you to truly come to know who you are, when Rhea was speaking, she said that there are two important days in our lives: the day you were born and the day you discover why. For you to truly discover why you are here on earth, what you have been called to do, you must first of all understand what your strengths are. In times of chaos, in times of uncertainties, in times of challenges, what are those true strengths, those inner strengths that comes up that you can use to build yourself when all else seems to be failing? And so it is very important to understand who you are. And then how do you manage your emotions so that you can motivate yourself? It's so important that you are the captain of your life, that you begin to make your own decisions. It's not about what other people think about you. Who are you? Who do you say you are? For a long time, I suffered from what you will call managing my self-esteem. And it took me a long time to understand that only I am the only one who's responsible for getting myself out of that situation. And it all started from that time in the university when I experienced that first failure. I felt that I had disappointed my parents. I felt I had disappointed those who looked up to me, those who had so much high expectation of me. And so I carried that weight, that burden for a long time through life. But when I began to take ownership of my life, when I began to understand that my mindset needs to change, how I see myself needs to change, what I think about myself needs to change, having that ability to manage my emotions, to understand that it is only when you get out of your comfort zone that is when growth truly begins. And so in this time when we're facing a lot of uncertainties in the world, in every area of our lives, so whether in your family life, in your personal life, at work, or your relationships with other people, how flexible and adaptable are you to changes that are happening around you? You see, a very key component of emotional intelligence is self-management. And what comes with self-management is self-control, adaptability, and then learning to be innovative in how you deal with the things that are happening in your life. It is only when you're able to manage yourself that you can get into that space of social awareness, where you are able to recognize and understand other people's emotions. How attuned are you to actually exhibiting empathy, to recognizing how other people are feeling, especially in social situations? If you don't understand your own self, you won't be able to understand other people. And it comes with a lot of things. You see, we are all talented in one way or the other. We all have gifts. But are you actually harnessing the talent, the gifts that you have? What are you doing with it? There's so much that's going on in our world right now. And we all have skills, talents that we can begin to bring out from inside of us. But if you continue to dwell in self-doubt, to think of yourself less than you are, and begin to doubt your competence, your ability to actually key into some of these talents to do what you need to do. So you have to build your self-confidence. You have to learn to Avoid destructive thinking. Those destructive labeling, negative thinking that derail who you truly are, your worth as a human being. I know we don't have only women here, we have men as well that are watching and listening to this. But you will agree with me that it is more common with us women to actually think of ourselves less, to diminish our power, what we can do. Maybe because of culture, maybe because of how we've been raised. But it's time to take ownership of your life, to redirect that emotional energy, to begin to constructively harness the power in you. Emotional intelligence can, it's so wide and it encompasses a lot of things. How resilient are you in dealing with the things that are happening in your life, in your community, in your home, whether as a wife, as a sister, as a mother? A lot of people are working from home right now, and you're having to deal with a lot of things as a woman. How are you bringing that into play in building your emotional intelligence to motivate you and to motivate those that are around you so that you can be truly happy? If we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, at the top of the pyramid is self-actualization, and that is what happiness is about. And so you have to think about you, your own self. How are you building yourself? How are you thinking of your own happiness? So that you can live a truly satisfied and a life that is designed, that you are designed to live. Developing your emotional intelligence is one way that can positively impact your well-being and your happiness. And so you may ask, can you start at this age, at this stage, to begin to develop emotional intelligence? The answer is yes. Every one of us, at whatever level we are, can begin to build a high emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a trainable skill. It is something you can develop with time, with patience, and with practice. It's not an overnight job. It's not something that is done once. It requires constant growth, progress. And like Carl Jung says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And so as I close out, I'm asking you, what is that aspect of your emotion? What is that aspect of your life that you have called faith up until now? That you have allowed other people to dictate how you live, how you show up, how you live your life, how you do the things you do? It is time to step out. Take ownership of your life. You are responsible for your decisions. You are responsible for what you become tomorrow. But that can only be a success if you start to do the work today. And so, as you listen to the other speakers, as you hear each speaker talk about what they'll tell you today and tomorrow, I want you to think, how emotional intelligent are you? What are those things that you need to do to begin to build yourself so you can have a better relationship with yourself and with those that are around you? Who who is in your inner circle that will help you to build yourself. Listen to that voice inside of you that keeps resonating, that tells you there is so much more you can do. Because truly, there is so much more you can do. I believe in you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tina Ogbugo of Joan Lugard's Consulting Nigeria. That was so good. Thank you for the insights you have brought. I've got to start building myself in order to build anything tangible. So, guys, according to Carl Jung, until you have made the unconscious conscious, you will call it fate and it will continue to rule your life. What are those unconscious generalizations, beliefs, and all that have held you bound? Womanity is here to expose them to you, challenge them for you, eliminate them completely from your life, and build you to become your best and give humanity its best experience. Remember, we are creatures of meaning, and our best experiences come from our relationships with people around us. The bonds and the connections that we tie with them will give us our best human experience. So come on board the Womanity Initiative and have your life better and serve humanity in your best possible way. Thank you very much for staying on the call. Keep
you.
here. We are indeed better together. You're welcome.
Introducing our speaker, Anika Tonerd. Anika Tonerd is the creator of the transformational coaching program, Your Own Life, prize-winning mentor, former kickboxing champion, mother of 3, and Amazon best-selling author. Anika has spoken on stage with John Maxwell and delivered keynotes to thousands. She works with corporations like Amazon, Volvo, and eBay. She was selected as top 100 profile of women on board, presented by Paper Jam Business Magazine. Anika is a Luxembourg Regional Ambassador and the European Global Ambassador for Women's Entrepreneurship Day organization. She will be speaking on emotional intelligence, a complementary skill. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we welcome our distinguished speaker, Anika Tonerd.
Hello.
Hi, Anika. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Eunice. All right. So I want to say, because I got so excited, I saw in the chat, I want to do a shout out to Umo Pretty. Hey, in Sweden. I am from Sweden, and I thought that was nice. So I just wanted to say hello. So thank you for allowing me to be part of the conference. I'm invited to speak on emotional intelligence, just like Tina. So she had one perspective, I'll bring in another. And I think, let's say, I will even say that I believe that emotional intelligence is a necessity. So not a complementary skill, but something you need if you want to be happy and lead a fulfilling life. And it's definitely been something that has helped me go from rock bottom, like Lisa Nichols said. And I was so happy to see that she's part of the event because she's been a leading star for me. She says that her grandmother said, "Quitters never win, winners never quit." So it's my mantra from Lisa. And thank you for organizing this. What a beautiful, beautiful event in all ways possible. So this is a topic that I could talk about for, I don't know, the whole weekend and still want to continue talking. It's my passion, but we only have 20 minutes together. So I thought, what would be most valuable for you? And because I don't know you, I'm going to speak from the perspective of humanity. Hi, Abiola. So while I focus on sharing my most valuable thoughts on emotional intelligence and what it has done for me, what it can do for you, I want to encourage you. I want to challenge you, if you're up for a challenge, to be attentive and capture one big takeaway, something that matters to you, so that you make this time as valuable as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can share some slides here. Share screen, your entire screen. And I'm trying to do this right. And there we go. Present. Yes. So I wanted to show this picture of me, not as an introduction, but as a visual of what emotional intelligence has done for me. Before these pictures were taken, so it starts in 2015, there are no pictures of me really, because I felt ugly, not enough, insecure, no self-esteem, nothing. And these pictures are literally me living my dream, feeling like I have stepped into a space where I can be my everything. And you can do the same. The tool that has taken me there is emotional intelligence. So, and I do want to mention, I always put my children in the slides because they are such a big part of my life. There we go. So the two elements I want to cover in the scope of emotional intelligence is your core values, knowing your core values, and the power of your thoughts. And your core values is so very important to know, because it will help you not only build a stronger self-image, it will be as a guide in the path forward in your life. You can use it as a decision-making tool. And it is the first pillar in my online coaching program, You Own Your Life. So to save time, I thought, why don't I gift you a values exercise? And you, yes, sharing my core values are authenticity, integrity, courage, family, and humor. Now, these are not randomly selected because I think they sound nice. These are, going through the exercise, truly my DNA in core values. And when you go through the exercise and get yours right, it will be a powerful, powerful tool. So take a screenshot of the screen or a photo, or if you write fast, write it down, coaching.annikatorneryd.com, and you get the free values exercise. So with that, I'm going to leave values and move on to the power of your thoughts. As a human, we all function. I mean, our subconscious mind is running like an engine all the time, giving us thoughts. And most of them are, we're conditioned. So we don't have that much actual thinking going on, only 5%. But so we have thoughts, and these thoughts, depending on if they're positive, happy, sad, depressed, fearful, whatever they are, will generate a certain kind of feeling. Yeah. And that feeling will trigger you to take a certain kind of action. Now, if you have low feelings, sad feelings, depressed, scared, of course, it's not going to inspire you to take very much action at all. So there's going to be holding back, playing small, fearful, and all that. If you have phenomenal thoughts, they will generate empowering feelings, and you will be, yay! You will take action. You will believe in yourself. You will say, of course, I can do this, and you will take bold action. Now, thoughts, feelings, actions will lead to a certain kind of results or lack thereof. If you start with a negative thought, the feeling will follow. There will be no action, so there will be a lack of results. whether it's a lack of result or an actual result that you feel is valuable, that string of results is what we call our life. So when you look back at the process, your thoughts are a direct indicator of what your life is going to be. So you want to choose your thoughts very carefully. For me, this is the most powerful element of emotional intelligence. Like Tina said, it's about knowing yourself and knowing that you have the capacity to choose your thoughts. If you know that you have a tendency to have a negative outlook on life, you need to help yourself and get to a place where you take control of that, because you will then master I should go from here to there, thoughts, feelings, actions, results, and you can control that. So the biggest problem here is that you believe 100% of the thoughts you tell yourself, or you wouldn't be thinking then, right? So let's say many, many years ago, everyone knew that the world was flat. When I was a kid, I was told stories about how back in the days, people used to know that the earth was flat. And if you wandered, if you went on adventure, you could come to the edge of the world and you would fall off earth and die 1,000 deaths. So that's fear mongering, and to keep people stay where they are, not taking chances, no growth, no nothing. Everyone knew this. And then I believe it was Copernicus who started he was looking at the stars, and he said, I think the earth is round. And they said he was crazy. They wanted to execute him for speaking such vile thoughts. He was right. Yeah. And now today, we all know that the earth is roundish. Same thing with, so where I come from, Sweden, we believe in Santa Claus, or children believe in Santa Claus. So for Christmas, less than a month, Santa Claus comes. And so he's this big fat man with white beard and red clothes, and he rides on the sleigh with the reindeers, Rudolph, and then he jumps into the chimney and slides down the chimney and leaves gifts for the nice children. Then somehow miraculously, with his large belly, he climbs up the chimney and jumps into a sleigh again, clean, like his suit is still red, and goes to the next family. So kids believe this until the age of 7, 8. I try to hold on to it. I still believe in Santa Claus. But just saying, we can believe things that are not true. And I don't say that to trigger you, but I do say it to bring it home. So let's make it about you. Just because you think something doesn't necessarily mean you're right. And I apologize if you find me pushy now, but let me explain what I'm talking about. So the thoughts you think about yourself. And if we were in a room together, I would ask you now, what is the number one most mean thought, negative thought you have about yourself? And because I can't hear you, I will share what my clients say, working as a coach one-on-one and in groups with women empowerment. Some of the things they say is, I'm not smart enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not educated enough, I'm not pretty or beautiful enough, I am not strong enough, I don't have enough consistency to start a project because I won't finish it, I'm not influential enough, even if I speak, people don't listen, or it's not enough, but it's just like, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm a bad mother. So many women, so many mothers tend to think they're a bad mother, knowing that we all do our very best. And imagine saying one of these things to a colleague. You get to work in the morning and you just say, "Whew, you look fat today." what would happen then? Or if you said to someone, they talk about something they're going through with their child, and you say, "You're a bad mother." I mean, we would never do that, would we? But still, it's okay that we say it to ourselves over and over again, just as if we're talking about the weather, stating facts. It's like this, nothing to argue about. If you say it to a friend or someone in your office, if it's someone with a little bit of character, they will slap you. If it's someone who is a more gentle kind of person, they will be very hurt. And if it's a friend, you may lose them, because it is not okay to talk to someone like that. Yet, most of us do it pretty much all the time. Repeating things like "you are good enough." So in conclusion, if we want to be happy, have positive emotions and high vibration, high quality of life, we need to use our intelligence to choose our thoughts. And every thought you have will have a consequence in your life, directly or indirectly, good or bad. And you can impact that almost 100%. Most of us, we just think the thoughts we think without questioning it, and from that thought we get all the feels: the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad, guilt, all of it. But if you want to improve your quality of life, and you can, then you want to make it your number one top priority to think only empowering thoughts, encouraging, uplifting, exciting, joyful, happy thoughts about you, about what you're capable of, about what you believe about the world in general. Make it your mission to choose only good thoughts. And I think if you can, with as much attention and intentionality as you can muster, these empowering thoughts, you need to select them, especially when you're scared, especially when you're going through tough times, because that's when we're the most vulnerable. If you can, while you're going through tough times, focus enough to choose your thoughts, and don't let them get to you, because they will. If you can capture them and say, hang on, this is not helping me right now. Ask yourself the question, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is it harming me or is it helping me? You want to make sure that every single thought you have adds value to you, makes you happy, makes you feel stronger, makes you stand up a little taller, makes you walk with a little bit of a smile and a blink in your eye. And you can. It's choosing your thought that will have an incredible impact. So a little exercise, pen and paper. I mean, if you do it now or in one of the pauses later on, or when today's sessions are over, write out your top 10 empowering thoughts about you. And write them in your phone, on Post-its, write them on the computer and print it out. If you have your calligraphy pens, if you have a beautiful handwriting, write it by hand and put it somewhere where you see it, so that it reminds you. I have on my phone at 9:30 a.m. every day, my phone goes beep, 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 and on the screen I see the message, "I love myself," with 3 little hearts. And every day I see it and it makes me smile, because it is not a thought that will automatically be there. But because I remind myself visually, I see it every day. Yes, I love myself. And it's something that in the beginning can be very uncomfortable. If you already love yourself, high five, hallelujah. I'm happy for you, genuinely. But if you're not there yet, use little tricks to help you get there. I'll share one more thing I have. It's like this. I have all these Post-its in my office. On my bathroom mirror, there is a pink Post-it, just like this one, but pink. What does this one say? "I have acquired a master's degree at letting people pick my brain." Okay, that was something else. Okay, so in my bathroom, there's this pink post-it, and it's literally right there, so I can't see my face in the mirror. And so every morning I come in there. I'm always tired in the morning because I stay up too late working on my books and things and my podcast. So I come in, I see this post-it, and in the middle it's written, "You're so pretty." And if you knew me personally, you would know that one of my biggest thoughts, negative thoughts, since I was a kid has been, I'm ugly. And that's just a thought I have. And if I don't remind myself, it's gonna get me. And then when you feel ugly, you don't want to dress up. You know, it's like, oh, no matter what you do, really, you're just gonna feel ugly. So that little note reminds me every morning, and I smile and I was like, who wrote that? Oh, it was me. That's funny. And then I sing, I feel pretty, also pretty. And then I start the day with a smile, feeling joyful. Instead of, I'll give you the example of when before we could travel, and I didn't bring my little note, sleeping at a hotel, getting into the fancy bathroom and the mirror, and then I would always start the morning with feeling, so I would literally waste my nice stay at the hotel. So you have to choose and be very careful and intentional and use every trick you can to remind yourself to have good thoughts, enabling, empowering. Be very careful. If it was a garden and you planted roses and tulips and gardenias, if when the weed starts coming, you pick it out immediately because you want it to look pretty. Same thing with your thoughts. The roses, the tulips, the beautiful ones, keep them. Let them grow, nurture them, but don't let any bad thoughts. Don't let the weed come in. Why would you? All right. So I actually want to make an offer. Totally, it's a crazy offer, but it's for the Womanity Inauguration Conference exclusively. No one else. This is not to be shared outside of this circle, because I profoundly love the mission of raising a community of strong and enabled women leaders to help and grow and develop humanity. Could anything be more beautiful? So this is my contribution. And I want to share that I worked at the European Parliament with a lot of responsibility within human resources, together with the Director General for over 14 years. I've seen leadership from the very top in Europe. I've gone through being a single mother. I had 3 babies in 1 year, first one and then twins. And I've raised them as a single mother due to very poor choice of partner. And raising them alone in a foreign country without family or financial support is tough. But I still figured out how to lead myself forward, create a life by design, build my business, be a role model to my children, and live my dream, literally live my dream. I worked with hundreds of clients who are unhappy, unfulfilled, stressed, overstretched, burned out, and lately many who have been fired, unfairly so. But to get away from that space, that brokenness and unsatisfaction, it all comes down to one thing: choosing your thoughts. It's the master of your life. Remember, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. You want to choose your thoughts. When you rob yourself of the opportunity to choose your thoughts, there will be consequences that you will not enjoy. So if you remember one thing from our time together, please choose your thoughts. That is being intelligent with your life and your emotions. But the great news is you can change it. You don't have to be a victim to your thoughts. You can choose them, and you should. So Lisa Nichols spoke about rock bottom, and that's where I was 6 years ago. Burnout and the whole package. So my online coaching program, You Own Your Life, is literally the journey I've been on to rebuild myself, my self-image, confidence, and all, to living life as being my everything to my fullest capacity and enjoying the heck out of it. And I want the same for you. So because the massive drop of investment, this is only for the 10 first. The 10 women, the action takers who want this, you get to that link. It's an 80% reduction, and we'll dive in. It will be a closed circle for only people from the Womanity community. And remember that your thoughts can be your worst enemy, but they can also be your absolute strongest ally. I hope you choose the right one. So take good care of you and choose empowering and happy thoughts. I say bless you. I'm going to stop sharing here and come back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I can, yes.
That was so generous of you. That's a big offer, and I'm grateful to you. So, viewers out there, you have that, and you have it ongoing. Please do not hesitate to take advantage of that generosity. You couldn't have anything better. Remember, your thoughts will inform your feelings will in turn inform your actions. Again, that those actions will give you the results. So where you are today is as a result of the thoughts that you've always had. If you're not satisfied with your results, don't bother about your actions. Do not even bother about your feelings. Go back straight and check out your thoughts. Remember to think empowering and happy thoughts. Grow, grow, become exponential. Again, I thank you, Anika.
Thank you.
So hold it there. We'll be back to you shortly. Thank you. Thank you, Anika. Why, yeah? No volume.
You are beautiful. You are smart. You are funny. You are kind. You are unique. You are worthy of love and affection. You are never too much, and you are always enough. You are precious. You are a diamond, a rose, a pearl, the most stunning of all God's creation. You are worth more than you could ever imagine. Worth more than the numbers on the scale, or the hair product you use, or the shoes you wear. More than how many girls wish they were you, or how many guys wish they had you. More than the price tags on your clothes, or the percentage at the top of your math test, or even the number of followers you have on Twitter. Your worth surpasses all earthly things, because in the eyes of the Lord God, you are loved, and you are worth dying for. Regardless of who you think you are. Whether you model in a magazine, or you model pottery with grandma. Whether you're on the hot list or the not list. Whether you're head cheerleader or a high school dropout. Whether you're Miss Popular or you've never had anyone you could call a friend. Whether you love yourself and love your life, or you can't stand to look in the mirror and you feel as if everything in your life is falling apart. Whether you're such a winner or you feel like the world's biggest failure. Regardless of who you think you are, The reality is that you deserve someone who would give up their life for you, because you are powerful and strong and capable. Read about the women in the Bible: Esther, Ruth, Martha, Mary. These women changed the world forever. And inside of you, each and every one of you is a woman with that same power and that same strength and that same world-changing capability. And your responsibility is to find that woman and to set that woman free. This is who you are. And any voices in your mind that try and tell you differently are from the enemy. And the next time you hear them, this is what you say. You say, "Nuh-uh, not me, Satan. I am a daughter of the living God, cherished, loved, and adored above all things by the Creator of all things, for the glory of Him who is greater than all things. I am awesome." And please, don't you forget it.
Welcome back. So, guys, have you heard about the term alternative aggression, where you're being told that women do not work together, women cannot work with each other, women do not support women, women do not love women? If you've ever believed this, you have believed a lie all your life. I am bringing up a woman who is the most supportive sister in my life, and that is because she has proven her mettle in leadership, in ability. Stay here with me as I bring up my diamond sister, the phenomenal, ecstatic, awesome, wonderful, peculiar, Sonoha. Welcome you, my angel sister. How are you?
I think it works better when I unmute. So thank you so much, Eunice, for having me on. I'm just sitting at the edge of my seat. Every drop is just so, it's like a morsel of food is nourishing our soul. So thank you. I remember your original vision of Womanity and how much passion and just the way it's manifest is just a blessing to so many. So I'm very grateful. We say, what do I say? We say yes. Thank you very much, Eunice, for bringing forward and creating a platform for women to grow. I actually have the pleasure today of introducing, yes, Mr. Yemi. All right. So my opportunity today, I'm very, very pleased to be with you and Eunice, who's my Diamond Sister coach. We actually had an adventure this summer where during COVID, we had a call together where we came together as 6 coaches and launched Living a Diamond Life. You know, one of the keys to well-being and one of the keys to being healthy in your own mental health is to help others. You know, we talk so much about having meaning in life and bringing meaning into other people's lives, but oftentimes just to lift ourselves, it happens by living others. So the experience that we jointly went through was we built a community of over 200 women that's still thriving and taking them through leadership and teaching them about anti-fragility, which is a principle that says, even if you're broken, you can grow through brokenness. And the breaking, oftentimes, following the breaking, you're stronger than you were in the original state. So that whole process and principle around post-traumatic growth. So I'm very, very honored to be able to be a part of Eunice's dream and to bring all of the things that she's been manifest. We have so many things planned going beyond the conference, really just take this to the next level in this community. But we're starting today, and we're just excited about, being here to share. I'm really, really touched today as we talk about the personal growth and how it's a choice. It truly is a choice. So many people expend energy complaining about things. And I love the point that Anika brought out. And I just want to demonstrate, maybe by example, that if our minds are like the sky, then our thoughts are like clouds. Every thought that comes, it's just like a cloud. But every thought that comes doesn't mean we have to think it, especially negative thoughts. The whole point that we often say mean things to ourselves that we'd never say to a friend. If we did say it to a friend, we'd get slapped or knocked down. But somehow we think it's okay to say it to ourselves. So I just love that Womanity and the choices that it's exposing for us is just so powerful to let us know that as that thought comes, we can always let the thought go and choose another thought. For every circumstance in life, we get to choose, and that's where the power truly is that we get that whole chain of thoughts, feelings, action, and results, and those results make our lives. I'm reminded that we have I guess it's Les Brown that said, do you want to be the person that on your deathbed, there's so many unfulfilled dreams standing around you? People say that the graveyard is the richest place on the planet because there's so much gold. There's so many dreams. There's so many things that should have been birthed on earth, but were not birthed on earth. How many of you have had a belief somehow, it could have been buried way down deep, that you were supposed to be in this world? I know for me, my personal story, we said before I was born, my mother and father were in a head-on collision about 15 months before I was born. My mother broke her neck. She was in a coma. They were planning her funeral, but she actually woke up from that experience. Had memory loss, didn't know my other siblings, had to learn to walk again. But somehow, in that next year, 1966, she gave birth to me, a 9-pound, 7-ounce baby. And she told me from the beginning that there was so much adversity to me coming. Who does that? From a deathbed, come and rise again from a broken neck and give birth to me. I always felt that there was something that I was meant to do. And on my life's journey, I started off as an engineer. I was very smart in math and science, but I always knew it was something kind of artsy, creative about me. But I didn't really know how to reconcile this engineer who built motorcycles and the person who being on stage and founding a Black repertory theater while an undergraduate. But I got that courage. I love the way Rhea described that her turning point was with Les Brown in 2013. I would probably say that my turning point came when I began to see people pass away, and my life had some loss. But when you begin to see people pass away and you wonder, wow, am I going to leave here and not do what I was meant to do? So I'll just challenge other people. Do you ever feel that there's something deep inside of you, but you're just too busy satisfying the requirements of life? So many of us are living at the lowest level of hierarchy of needs. We're taking care of putting a roof over, food on our back, security and safety. But we know that if we can take care of that bottom level, but sometimes we don't want to risk, right? The bird in hand is better than the one that we don't have yet. But often we have to release something in order to receive something else. So my message to you today is, just as my mother told me, it was something inside me that needed to be released. I had to raise my hand at my successful company. You get these careers and sometimes they become your identity, but you just don't feel comfortable. You know that there's something else that you're supposed to be doing. For me, my step out moment, it happened over time. probably one of my first things was moving from America to Nigeria. I knew that God needed to expand my territory, my JPS moment. And it was a spiritual experience where my watch was burning my arm, and it was my Harley Davidson watch burning my arm. But I knew that there was something else. I didn't know exactly what. But just like a headlight, when you have a trip of 200 miles, you only see the length of the headlight, right? So you could just move for that increment. And as you move, more is revealed. So certainly for me, relocating to Nigeria was part of that thing that was burning inside of me that I was told I had, but I didn't really know what it was, but I moved by faith. And faith requires some work. So I began to get in the flow and put myself in a place so much with fear. You know, they talk about doing it scared. It's not just a slogan. It is the truth. It is very important because oftentimes I love when she used the expression, the first speaker, Ria, was talking about step out into who you're supposed to be or step backwards and stay in comfort. In that space of comfort, nothing really happens. There's no growth and there's no gift that's released to the world. So as I moved through my own story of my first job, I would say in Nigeria, my salary was equal to what my bonus was before, living in America. And for a person whose identity was so tied into how much money she made, I didn't even know that was my real. The other speaker was talking about is when the crisis comes that you really see what your values were. I wasn't happy to find out that was my value, but it was. But that was a season of repositioning for me. That comfort was repositioning, and it was putting me in a place of being without that financial valuing. So it wasn't about the money anymore. I needed to move into a place of purpose. I need to move into a place of why. Simon Sinek calls it the golden circle, where we begin to figure out our why. People are not attracted to our titles. They're attracted to our purpose. Because oftentimes when we look at leadership, we're in a position or a title, but as we progress up the 5 levels of leadership, it's very important to realize that people begin to cling to us through relationship and through purpose and how we produce and our why and what's important. And as I move closer to beginning to bring results that were related to my purpose, doing a Black History Quiz Bowl, educating people, launching products in Nigeria related to banking, and getting into Shell and bringing, lifestyle and community and safety to people. All of those things were bringing me further away from motorcycles and closer to people. And I knew that's where I needed to be. So to cut my story short, basically for me, when I had moved into, kind of a safety zone, a comfort zone, I was drawn back when I attended a conference, I think in 2014, I met the John Maxwell president, Paul Martinelli. He came to Nigeria, but I didn't sign up then. I just said, I don't have time for that. I'm a mother of 5. I'm a working career person. I don't have time for that. But I kept being called to speak, kept being called to coach, kept being called to mentor, kept being called to all of these things. But I said, I'm a real estate professional. This is not what my job is. So point I want you to write down is not the position that you hold. It's the power of the gift that you're holding that makes a difference in life. So I had trained some people many, many years ago. In fact, 13 years ago, I walked into a conference, see a lady that I had trained 13 years ago. She's now responsible for the international finance, in IFC in Washington, D.C. And she said, Patricia, I remember you, and I remember what you trained me. And all of those things really came together. So what I would say is be willing to dare to bring out that gift. So I have the honor of introducing V. Awasanya Adefojo, who is the creative director and content director of Windmill Publishing. He's going to be doing a surprise unveiling very shortly with our founder, Eunice Thomas. I'd like to just let you know that at WeMo Publishing, they work with authors to preserve life with words, birth their publishing dreams, and help people share the stories that readers require. And, you know, Toni Morrison said, if there's a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. So I want to just leave the slate very open for some grand unveiling that I'm expecting to see. And I do hand the floor over to Eunice Thomas, but I also want to let you know, look out in the comment section, because Tanya Speaks is going to be offering some wonderful goodies just because we believe in the mission of Womanity. So I do want to hand back now and bring on and introduce. Is Yemi ready to come on board now?
What is COVID-19?
Oh, the COVID-19 is some disease who come from some corner whereby we don't know.
From where?
In a corner. That we don't know.
Viewers, forgive me that I'm laughing.
It's something that we never expected, but it came expected.
Okay, what does that mean?
Expected.
Surely.
I never expected it.
With this nose masks and social, social, how do you call it? Social distance and the nose mask and sanitizer.
Bruh.
What?
Unwashed sanitizer. You know what I mean?
Hand wash what that?
Yeah.
Hand wash.
Sanitizer.
What does the acronym COVID-19 stand for?
Started.
Bruh.
What does it stand for?
Stand for our earth.
I beg you, respect yourself.
What is COVID-19?
The COVID-19 is recovered of everywhere, or the whole country, or the whole world.
What are you talking too much?
Yeah.
What is it?
What is this?
Chai.
It's killed a lot of people.
Chai.
What is it?
What is this?
Chai.
So what does the acronym COVID-19 stand for? What does the C stand for?
C stand from we like lizard or the animals. Let me say that like
Go and sit down.
What is COVID-19?
Coronavirus. Oh, COVID-19 is a disease all over the world. Good.
And what's the difference between coronavirus and COVID-19?
The corona, the converse.
Bruh.
That's where it started, and it's a virus. That's where it started. Virus started before the convent itself came.
Are you sure?
The virus started before the convent started.
Sorry, convent started before the virus.
Convent started before the virus.
Chai.
I'm making a mistake or what?
Go and ask your grandfather.
Hello, great to be here. I can't help myself laughing. Actually, it's an awesome one. As much as it's quite hilarious, but the truth be told, most of this kind of information, quite a chunk of people really do not understand the gravity of COVID-19. But then, you know, the truth be told, a lot of people have different interpretation of the same thing. But yet, I mean, it's real, and we should be very, very conscious of it as much as we can. All the protocols that have been given to us, we should obey them so we can save lives. That done. My name is Yemi Awosa-Adebayo, and I have just one single responsibility here right now. A big thank you, big well done to Dr. Ms. Thomas for putting this together. The inspiration behind this conference is extraordinary. It's every woman out there ought to be here, and I'm sure even after now, those who are going to watch maybe the replay will be able to take advantage of it. All this fantastic. I watch it from the beginning, and I love every bit of it. My mind is just It's not blown away, but it's still there. But then it's open to learn so much. Thank you so much. So I have a job to do. Very simple. We've been working. Of course, we published a book for Dr. Eunice Thomas, and the book is out. But I'm going to be doing the job of unveiling the book to also this period. It's a great book, fantastic book. So if I can have my slides up, it'd be great now. So I'm going to be wrapping the book. Just put my hand and remove the wrappers off the book. So if I can have my slides on now, I would just pick up from there. So the book is written by the author, the convener of this conference. And of course, she's the author of the book. And my job today is to be able to unveil, voila, to remove that wrapper right there, take it out and bring out the book. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing that. Next slide, please. All right, so I'm talking about humanity. Humanity now. Humanity. Would there be any humanity if there isn't a humanity? I'm sure the slides will come up and catch up with me as I move on. Would there be humanity without humanity? Now, humanity nurtures, humanity manages, humanity develops, humanity sustains, and gives support to humanity. If you go scriptural for the sake of discussion, there can't be a continuation of life if there wasn't an Eve in the picture. But then, even as Eve was in the picture, there was, she had a responsibility attached, sort of, to ensuring that the man fulfills what he's meant to do. And for the man to do that, it means also that the man is doing what he ought to do. Taking care of the society, taking care of life. So our responsibility transcends just even the man to managing the man as a whole. So we say there would not be humanity if there wasn't a humanity. Now, humanity, like I said, nurtures, manages, develops, and states, gives support to humanity. Whenever humanity is sidelined in humanity, humanity loses its essence. Because humanity gives humanity life. I'm sorry, it's a play of words here, but I'm sure it's quite clear that we would understand what I'm trying to say. Whenever humanity is sidelined in humanity, humanity loses its essence. Humanity gives humanity life. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Humanity is oftentimes misunderstood. It's not a suggestion of a gender war. It's not a suggestion of competition. It's not a suggestion of feminism in the extreme sense. It is an acknowledgement and celebration of the identity of womanhood in life. It's not a contention where there's no war. There's no war going between man and woman. Hey, everybody has a significant in essence, distinctly. But when one does not get expression, does not get a chance to do what it's meant to do because of societal stigmas and societal development, then it limits the capacity of that order. There's so much that the world has, and thank God for the rest of the world that is advancing in pushing women representation in so many societal structures. And those places, there's balance. There's so much impulse, and I'm so grateful that we have the new, the vice president, the elect vice president in the United States coming as a first-time minister. And those kind of things are the things that give so much expression to humanity. And I'm sure there's so much the world is going to join it because of such a feat. Humanity was set up to support humanity and is committed to life, hope, love, care, grace, growth, development, peace. These are all elements of humanity. And to enable humanity fulfill its destiny. Humanity in humanity is the balance. Yes, scripture says that God saw the man was alone and he felt, look, I gotta give this guy some support, and he brought a perfect support. Not to say that support does not have a life of its own, but that support is meant to manage, I keep saying this, manage not just the man, but the responsibilities of the man. The humanity is way, way larger in capacity on what it can, because the keys to humanity lies in the hands of womanity. Woo. All right, this book we're about to unveil presents a guide for humanity. Next slide, please. Present a guide for humanity. Okay, so much is entrusted into humanity, and it's easy to see because of this enormity of responsibility. It's easy to see that there are several gaps that can be managed in humanity. There's so much blanks, there's so much expectation, but yet so many times there's restrictions here not to do this, stigmas, things that are, humanity has been put through so much. Humanity has been put through so much. But because of that, yet it gives so much gap. That's why even in parliament, they say now you have to have 30% or 40% female representation. You have to have, because all these things is trying to correct all the errors, all the gaps that is identified in humanity that's not giving humanity the chance to be able to do what it ought to do. Now, through this book, and this is the beautiful part, through this book, the author fills one of those gaps. Humanity must encourage humanity to take a seat and do what she's destined to do. And thank God that this conference is not just women, it's men, women, all genders are here. Beautiful. Humanity, all of us together, must encourage humanity to take a seat and do what she's destined to do. And then only will humanity fulfill its destiny. On that note, next slide, please. I introduce to you, introduce to you the book, A Dozen Laws of Humanity. A Dozen Laws of Humanity, written by Dr. Hughes Thomas. Right there. The book is unveiled. This is the book. This is what it looks like. Fantastic book. Content there. Now, the book contains so much information. 12 golden laws based on her experience, based on the things she has gone through for all the years she's been actively doing stuff, inspirations, the motivation. This conference came based on this platform of this book. So you can expect so much from this book. 12 golden rules, 12 golden rules, a dozen rules of humanity. Now the book is unveiled today, right now, but you get a chance to get into the pre-order, to be able to pre-order for the book from midnight of today. That's like 12 midnight, you get a pre-order for the book. Watch out for the link. The link is going to be up shortly, put up by that time on the platforms of the conference. A Dozen Laws of Humanity, next slide please. A Dozen Laws of Humanity, written by Dr. Eunice Thomas, is a curative creation of 12 proven laws, and it's the ultimate guide to fulfilling and enriching humanity. She has put them all together. Proven laws, fantastic laws. Now, each of these laws is meant to get you as a woman, meant to get humanity onto fulfilling your destiny and reaching you to become that person you're meant to be. All right, next slide, please. Become that person you're meant to be. Now, this book has quite a number of benefits if you pre-order for this book. Quite a number of benefits. You have, of course, a discounted rate. There are quite a number of things that tie together to make up this book. You have a discounted rate. If you, for the book, you have a free copy of a workbook and planner. Free copy of a workbook and planner, you get that. You also have 1 month free coaching class with the author. Now, a lot of times we know that people just tell you, you can do it, and motivate you to do those things. But coaching is much more different. Leading people is much different. You have to hold their hands, you have to take them through the process. And a lot of our women, a lot of our sisters could use mentors, could use coaches, people that could lead them through. And thank God for all the speakers. Great content, great initiative, so much you're doing. We want you to take advantage of this. Using this book written by Dr. Eunice Thomas, will also be able to achieve exactly the same thing. So she has 1 month free coaching class for you. You are going to be getting there as well. And also, you have access to be a part of the International Women Tribe of network of all the professionals. You get to be amongst a group. Nobody's creating an island. Nobody's set up to just be by itself. All right? everybody is meant to be together. Everybody's meant to work together. And that's the benefit of being humanity. All right, so with humanity, we're able to collabo, and achieve so much. Next slide, please. A dozen laws of humanity. Walk into success. Increase your awareness. Lighten your responsibilities. Diminish your fears. That's what we say. Walk into success. Increase your awareness. Lighten your responsibilities and diminish your fears. If you can do all this, you are going to indeed walk into success. Everybody's succeeding out there. We heard stories, we heard a lot of great people speak to us. Everyone out there was done stuff. Each of them came through a channel, came through a process, and at the end of the day, they committed themselves, and here they are speaking to the world, getting great. That can be your story. In fact, that can be your story. All you need to do is to connect with the right people, get the right materials in your hands, focus on the right things, and connect with them. Great things are going to be happening. Let me tell you a quick story. I have a set of people that I'm working with, young ladies that are doing some stuff with us, and we have them to go out there and just begin to earn a living for themselves, marketing their products. And they went out there, and then they go to one particular place, unknown to them. Somebody was watching them, and the person came and said, "What are you selling?" They gave the product to him, and it was like, "Thank you so much." Now they had gone. They had walked off, and then the person looked at the product and called the number on the product. Directly it came to us, and I picked up and said, "Who is this?" And the man says, I'm this person. You don't know me, but I saw two girls who were doing product sales out there, and I'm so motivated at what you're doing." They could have been doing the wrong things. They could have been into prostitution. They could have been claiming and blaming life, blaming society for everything that isn't working with them. But here they are adding value by themselves, and they say they're committed to a process. That's very profound. And he said to me, he would like to do a radio interview with them. He would like them to come to you. Now, would this lady have been able to get into such a clique? Not likely, except they move in the purposeful manner. They move deliberately. Life itself does not acknowledge, it doesn't really send you, as we say here. It doesn't really just say, "Oh yeah, you're different, you're unique, therefore I play different to you." No, life doesn't do that. It respects and only regards people who make efforts, who step in, who do stuff. It will now support you in whatever it is you're doing. You gotta be in the right place, doing the right things at the right time. And those kind of things are what life backs up. In fact, those are the kind of things that God supports. You do it, you show me you can do it, and I just keep coming to you, drawing things to you. This book is one book that we should all be ready to pick up, ready to read, but there's so many things that will come from this book. And then, of course, so we have a pre-order coming started tonight. I don't know, my slide is up, but I'm using what I have here with me. I'm sure maybe sometime we should look to get some of the documents there. So now we're talking about the fact that tonight, 12 p.m., it's very difficult, rather. Is it going to be 12 p.m. tonight or 12 p.m. tomorrow? But midnight, 12 a.m., midnight, or between today and midnight, that's what midnight bit. So anyone of them can claim the hour. So that's our midnight bit. Be ready. The link will be up on this platform, on the Womanity Conference platform, and also be available for us just across board. So many things are going to be happening immediately afterwards, and then we'll just let you know what to do. When we pre-order, you're going to be able to get more information, and so many things will come to support what it is that we would like you to do. Very important. Your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues at work, some circle of friends that you have. Thank you so much, Slicer back. God bless them. We're going to tell you, hey, the guys, the social media guys at the back end. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. I'm on the last slide now, just about the second to last slide. So we want you to get involved, key into this, make it work. Voila, there we go. There we go. Make it work, get connected to this, connect to it, get your friends to get involved in it. For Dr. Eunice Thomas, it's way beyond just a book, way beyond just a conference. It's a movement. It's like theology. It's a move, and we all need to connect to it. But the truth is, so that you don't just get wrapped up in just the activities, this conference lives on, this conference moves on. Tomorrow, another great day. But from tomorrow, like we said, the link will be up. Whenever you see the link, go to the link, click on it, and immediately start doing the needful. Get people to get involved, and I'm sure that you will be so blessed by it. So that's my task. The last slide, just for emphasis sake, it's the book. The book, the book, the book, the book, the book. So it's available from midnight of tonight, midnight tonight to tomorrow morning. The links will be up, and then you can start from tomorrow continuously. We're running this all the way till the 12th of December, when the pre-order would close, and then the real cost will start coming up. But please, let's get involved. Let's show that we understand what is about to happen. 2021 is a great time, but if you're not ready for 2021, may God not let us live 2020 again. I reject that. But 2021 preparation, so much is going to happen. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you. If there are any questions, I don't know, but back to you, studio.
You think so? Oh, okay, so no one has been joined. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Who first? Who goes first?
So we've had a whole lot to learn from this evening. It's been awesome. It's been amazing. I sincerely have had a great time listening to Raya, listening to Anika, and Womanity is here to stay. We are here for humanity. And Lady Eunice, what do you actually think? Listening to all the speakers, and we also have some speakers coming. So far, how would you say this conference is for you? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it has really gone beyond my expectation of it. It's a humbling experience
It is.
to have all of them turn up and, and deliver from their hearts. I have benefited quite a lot myself. I have been impacted. I'm imagining how my nights will be because I'm not sure to be able to sleep. I hold a big picture for Womanity. To think that in 3 weeks, we've been able to gather not fewer than 6,500 persons from across the globe come together to listen to what we're doing here and to be a part of this big deal is really humbling. I thank God and I thank everyone that has been on this project with me. I'm looking forward with pleasure to the lives that will be impacted, the businesses that will be created, the partnerships that will be made, the connections that will be established, and the phenomenon that Womanity is becoming.
It's really, really great so far. And we have a few more speakers. I think just one or two, just one more speaker to go. This was poised to be 3 hours that would change your life, that will get you ready for 2021. And as you have seen, it's not about women, it's not about men. The theme for Womanity Conference 2020 is Better Together. And it pleases my heart to actually see the comments, the unity. Everybody is excited, everybody is saying one thing or the other that has really impacted them from everything the speakers said. I have taken a whole lot home, and I know that I will not be the same after this conference. It's just the first day and it's amazing. I'm hoping that by the time we're done, stories, new ways of thinking, new methods of doing business, and new methods of carrying yourself will be the order of the day. So at this point, I think we'll just have a little break. But before we go, Lady Eunice, I've seen the very wonderful book that's put together. I want to clap for you. It's amazing. I want to clap for you. And I want to ask each and every one of you who's watching this, please, there are a whole lot of awesome offers. Anika made an offer and gave about 80% off it. The Womanity Conference is here to make sure that you do not taste this opportunity and leave the same. So please Take advantage of every offer, take advantage of everything that has been brought to you. This is a free conference, but you've seen the value, it's immense. And at this point, we would like to have a very young, assertive poet who will join us very soon for his art. But let's take a brief video. We're going to be back. Thank you.
Hello. Linda, I can see you.
Who are you? Hello.
I am a demon and I will kill you.
I reject you. I rebuke you. I will kill you before you kill me. I will kill you before you kill me. I don't know where you are.
Robots are coming for you.
You are coming for yourself in the mighty name of Jesus. So Auntie, you get now.
Hey guys, I hope everything is going well with you out there. I am really excited to tell you about Womanity. Womanity is the woman, her leadership, her skills, her resources, her experience, and her resources, everything that makes her a woman for the service of humanity. Womanity means the woman for humanity. So over the years, we have been telling ourselves that things have not been very good with us, that the odds have been against us, the men have been against us. I mean, we have victimized ourselves with our mindset, our mentality, our culture, tradition, effects, biases, stereotypes, generalizations, and everything within our environment. But you know, these are not true. Every one of these things is a lie, and we want to expose them for what they are at the Womanity Conference. Womanity is based on the concept of complementarity. What I mean by complementarity is that you are being your best because I am being my best. You're able to do your best because I am able to do my best. You are doing what you're able to do and doing very well because I am back here doing the things that you have abandoned, you are not able to do, are not your priority at this time, or you're just not willing to do. So that you are successful means that I am also successful with what I am doing at the time. So guys, no matter how insignificant your role is as a woman or as a man, we are bringing the balance. We want to tell you that it is as crucial and as critical as any other role, no matter how big and how significant it might appear to be. So guys, join me at this free conference on the 28th and 29th of November, where you will get to know more about all of the things that have kept us bound as women, or have made the men struggle in their definitional voids as masculine performance-based actors in the universe. I want you to come on board because I'm not able to do this alone. And not just am I not going to be able to do this alone, it will be fun with you on the call. So visit www.thewomanityinitiative.com www.thewomanityinitiative.com. At that free conference, you are going to have a revelation that is going to change your life and the society. Come on, I'm really excited and waiting to see you on the call.
This episode won't be long. It's short and simple. So listen, my people. Here is the revelation from Genesis. God is a woman, a beautiful woman. And we all were created in the image of the Creator. So who art thou to make yourself superior? Don't get me wrong. God may really not be a woman, but if it's so, then it's not an abomination. Don't bring those excuses you give feminists, for this isn't a gospel of equality, but equity, humanity. Don't bring the women are weaker vessel strategy, for true energy lies not in muscles. This isn't a jungle. True energy lies in the ability to serve humanity selflessly, suffering for another personality. She carried me as a baby, two souls in one body enduring the tussles, surviving the struggles, fighting for herself and the baby. This lady ate for me to eat, slept for me to sleep, cried for me, prayed for me, went for war or call it labor, fought with vigor and became the victor, pushed me out, groomed me right and made me stand out. And I will stand today to say she is weak. No, I don't hate my father, but where was he? Where was he when I was hitting mommy from within, when I fought to suck her nipples, bent like beetles she carried me around? Despite my background, she never let my back on the ground. Where was he? It's not about her, it's about the gender. But beyond the gender, it's about humanity. This isn't to condemn the men, for daddy was there as the backbone, such a strong bone, funding the family, feeding the family with mom in maternity, toiling the son for a penny a salary, draining the salary for mommy and family. This is the unity perfect for humanity. I am not sharing gender roles or responsibilities, but together, each gender supports the other to succeed. Together, we are bigger. Together, we are stronger, greater. Together, each gender supports the other to be better. Together, we are better. So we men, together with women, we make a perfect humanity for the society. Together, we are better. Like I said, this episode won't be long. It's short and simple. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Introducing our speaker, Tony Lynch. Tony Lynch is a business growth consultant, mentor, and coach. He equips people and businesses for success and a better future. Tony is a regular public speaker at events, now online. He combines as a TEDx speaker and has been featured in Inc. for the 100 Great Leadership Speakers for your next conference. He has been a judge at the UK and International Business Awards in London and Amsterdam. Tony Lynch will be speaking on the future of work, effective change management. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our speaker, Tony Lynch.
Well, I'm delighted to be with you today, and thank you to each and every one of you for being here, listening from around the globe. I know we're covering a number of different time zones around the world. I'm Tony Lynch. I'm based in London, in England. So what time is it for me? It's 25 past 6 in the evening for me here. But thank you. The theme of this conference, Better Together, that is so good and right on the button. I want to say thank you just at the start to Eunice, to Joy, and the whole team who have made this event possible. But also I know that there are many people behind the scenes who have been so busy, who are busy now doing all of the recording. And I want to say thank you to you, because I know that with teamwork, the dream works. And today, a dream is working. A dream is working because the team is working. And it's my delight to be with you today. Hey, haven't we had a wonderful time listening to all of these wonderful speakers and to hear their insights? And together, we're better. Together, we're stronger. So, hey, I want to applaud you from England, applaud you. Thank you ever so much for what you're doing. Womanity is such a great initiative. It is an initiative that can impact not just a country or a nation, it can impact the world. It can impact the world. And today, as we look at leadership and the future of work, we understand that leadership starts with us. It starts with you and it starts with me. And as a business growth consultant, I often describe leadership in the following way. Leadership is the ability to lead others to places where they could not have gone without you. If you've heard of John Maxwell, he's one of my mentors, and John would say that that leadership, he's a leadership expert, and he would say that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less, and that everything rises and falls upon leadership. So therefore, there's a clue here. We can do well if we are growing ourselves well as leaders. It starts with today. There's no future leadership without leading ourselves well today. It all starts with ourselves, and it starts today, because leaders are learners. Learners are leaders. The more we learn, the more we grow. The more we grow, the more our leadership and our impact can become around the world. So friends, today really matters, because the choices we make today will impact where we are tomorrow. The choices that you and I made yesterday, impact where we are today. And so today really matters. If we want to be a people who really believe in each other, we must have an attitude to empower each other. We can't have a future, as I said, without today. These are days to really look to complete each other, not to compete. These are days to really look actively to complete each other and not to compete. A desire for good leadership is good, but you know what? That is not a strategy. For this to happen, we need to have a strategy. We mustn't allow the past to hold us back. We mustn't allow the past to define us, but rather, and again, we mustn't allow, as we've heard earlier from the other speakers, we mustn't allow self-limiting beliefs to hold us back as well. But get this if you're making a note, whatever your setback is, don't let that keep you back, but rather let a setback be a setup to come back. Let me say that again. Whatever your setbacks have been, whatever my setbacks have been, let us allow our setbacks to set us up to come back. I want everyone who's listening to this to know that you matter. Your gifts and your skills, your talents that you bring, they matter. And I know within each one of you, you want to see that developed more and more. And if I could look at you today in the eye, I would say to you, make sure you develop the skills and the talents that are within you. You can make a difference. You can make a difference. Don't be discouraged from the past to hold you back, but rather allow the future to draw you forward. As I work with those who are starting in business, as I work with those who are looking to develop their business, as I work with those who are developing teams, looking at scaling their business, I can tell you this. With good leadership, talent doesn't come and go, but rather talent comes and grows. That's an art of a good leader, that talent will come to your team. But with good leadership, talent will grow. So let me say that again, so you really take that. With good leadership, talent doesn't come and go, but talent comes and grows. This is a good management skill, and it can be learned. It can be learned. In the sense of good managers and leaders recognizing how to see and identify talent, how to encourage that talent, but it takes a special type of leader, not just to see that talent, not just to take hold of that talent, but get this, takes a special sort of leader who can now multiply that talent, who looks at somebody and says, come and work with me. Not only are we going to utilize your talents, but I'm going to work with you to ensure that your talent is multiplied. I tell you, that is good leadership. That is strong management. Effective leaders have the ability to develop the talents within their team. So if you're looking at management, if you're looking at future leadership, if you're looking at growing a company, develop the team around you, develop the talents around you. We all have a leadership influence that we can have. So often, talent is not recognized. And I tell you that we need to be those who recognize good talent. Individuals don't reach their potential alone. But I tell you today, when you work with people, it's like iron sharpens iron. You can come and you can develop the talents within people. Future leadership will only be strong if we are strong today. If we can really take hold of the theme of this conference, better together, better together, better together, I tell you, we're going to be in a strong place in the future. When we understand this and we know it's true, we'll have an attitude of looking to add value to all of those around us. Let me tell you what a good leader is. Somebody who's good in management, somebody who's good at their workplace. Good leaders, they look to add value to others. Good leaders, it's not all about having the answers, but a good leader is authentic. A good leader is there for the people. A good leader values people. A good leader brings vision and hope. A good leader is a great listener. A good leader sees ahead. A good leader is a great encourager. A good leader is somebody who keeps on learning. Each of these areas, you and I, we can continue and we can start to grow in today. To be successful in leadership, it's not about how much power I have or how big my title is, but actually the mark of a good leader is how many people am I empowering? How many people am I raising up? How many future leaders am I creating? Good leadership is about empowering others. If I could look at you today in the face, I would say, I want to empower you to go for your dreams. This is what future leadership is all about. I've got a question for you. The question is, what's your dream for your future, for your leadership? What influence do you want to have in the future? Having a vision and a desire and a purpose is great. However, you need to be careful to have the right goals in place to get you to your desired results. As I work with many people around the world, I help them to put the right goals in place to ensure that they get to where they want to get to. And I know you've got goals within your life that you want to get to. The ways we put goals together are really important, because we don't want to chase after the wrong goals. We want to make sure we have in place the right goals, plan ahead to stay ahead. Hope is not a strategy. Dreaming is not a strategy. Strategic planning and goal setting, keeping on the right path, this is a good strategy. Why do I say that? Because winners are trackers. Trackers are winners. We need to know what we need to track to ensure that we keep in alignment with our vision and where we're going forward. One of the great things I love about being a business consultant is helping people get on that path to ensure that they keep growing. Don't have, just as I said, any goals, but have the right goals. Tell me, have you ever set a wrong goal? Have you ever set a wrong goal? I'm sure you have. I have. But as we grow in wisdom and we have a good inner circle around us, we can make sure that we take hold of the right goals. Do you have a goal today? I meet some people and they don't have a goal. Some people have a goal, but not many people have a goal beyond the goal. I want to help you, to encourage you to articulate and see what's my goal beyond the goal, because I know If you are focused on the right goals, you're going to hit your goal. And then you're going to look towards the next one. So what's your goal beyond the goal? I've got another question for you. Have you got a goal that you really want to go for in the next 30, 60, 90 days? I expect you do. And I want to encourage you to get there. Goals for your future are vital if you want to accomplish your dreams. Knowing what goals to go for and what not to go for is really important. And I want you to think big. My company is called Keep Thinking Big. There are too many people in this world who want us to think small, but I want you to think big. Keep thinking big for your life, big for your initiative, big for your dreams, big for your future. And I want to tell you today with great boldness to keep thinking big. I've got 3 words for you. You've already got them. Keep thinking big. Those who want to be successful in business, those who want to be successful in leadership and in business, they have a process. They plan ahead to stay ahead. They establish a good strategic plan to get there. And I would like to invite you to come and join me on a journey. So I want to invite you on Saturday, the 19th of December at 2 p.m. Which is UK time, to come and join me for a goals to growth workshop, a goals to growth workshop. And I want to invite you to come along to this event. This event, other people will be paying £47 to be at this event. But I have said to the organizers today that I'm going to, however, I'm going to give you a gift. And if you go to the website, which is coming across, I can see on the screen, www.keepthinkingbig.com/goals, and you go to the checkout, I want you to use the word Womanity in the coupon. And instead of paying £47 that investment, you only will have to invest £19. However, the challenge is that I know we've got about 6,000 people here booked in. I can only take 100 people. So I encourage you to book in now to reserve your place. So the website is there, keepthinkingbig.com/goals. I can only take 100 people, and I'll show you a process of how to make sure you can establish the right goals to get to where you want to get to in the future. As I work with clients, helping them to establish a business model to be successful in business, it's always good to have a mentor, have a good, strong inner circle around you. As I bring this to an end, I would have loved to have just sat down with you and looked at you in the eyes and just encourage you further, my friends. But as we look into the future, as we look at the future of work, where we're going to be in the future, I tell you, the theme of this conference is great. Better together. Let's make sure we start to live this out daily. Let's make sure we live it out daily. Let's be those who are bold in our encouragement to each other. Living this out today will impact our future, will impact our leadership. If you want to be a strong leader in the future, be strong today. Make wise choices for your life. Women and men together are a great team. Let's look to complete each other, not to compete against each other, not to try and win over somebody else, but actually let's make sure that we have that attitude of gratitude, that actually we look to complete each other, that we see the best in each other, we speak the best about each other. And as we do that, I want to encourage you with great passion in my heart that as you do that, as we're better together, we will make this world a better place. It's been my true honor to be with all of you today. And I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible with me on December the 19th at 2 p.m. UK time. I can only take 100, so book in today. But I tell you, it's been my honor to be with you today. And until we meet again, keep thinking big. Thank you very much.
thinking big.
Thank you, Tony Lynch. I don't know how to keep you back. Is there a way to have you permanently here with us? Not just you, Tony. All of you guys have been tremendously awesome. Thank you so much for choosing to be this generous to the community of Womanity. I can imagine how far you have had to go in cutting the cost of that treasure goals to growth workshop just to accommodate our young community. On behalf of everyone on the team, I want to say a big thank you to you,
Thank you.
to Rhea, to Anika, to Tina, to every team member out there for the work that you have put into this project. I know that you're not going to leave us ever because we're stuck together. Remember, we are better together. Just before the next speaker or the next item on the agenda, I want to ask my audience, what do you guys know about the Pygmalion effect? It just tells you that your expectation determines your success, determines your outcome. I expected this success, which is why I am having it today. My team expected it. That is why we are enjoying it. Please go ahead and expect the best of anything that you're doing at this time. Anything less will serve you less. I wish you all the best. Keep coming on. Stay right here for a very brief video about the theme character of our project, herself, an angel, Harriet Tubman. Welcome.
there are no stars, just follow the river. Listen for them. Fear is your enemy. Whoa, easy now.
I'm gonna be free or die.
I don't know if you know how extraordinary this is, but you have made it 100 miles to freedom all by yourself. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Harriet Tubman. You are welcome here anytime. If I'm free, my family should be too. I made up my mind, I'm going back. You're confident, composed. When trouble comes, you'll be ready.
Papers. Says here you're 5.5 feet tall. You ain't more than 5 feet.
Must have won my high boots that day.
Why you back here? It ain't safe.
I come to get you. Bring all of you to freedom.
Do you know what would happen if you got caught? You got lucky, Harriet.
I made it this far on my own, so don't you tell me what I can't do.
Harriet, welcome to the Underground Railroad. Everybody, everywhere is looking for you.
God don't mean people to own people.
Find this thief and burn her at the stake.
Harriet! I will give every last drop of blood in my veins until this monster called slavery is dead. Ready?
Immensely powerful one.
God, every day I wake up, I ask myself, if you were Harriet Tubman today, what would you be doing? Many of us have been enslaved in one way or the other. So humanity has come to free us. Many of us have been freed and we haven't found a way of freeing others. This is what humanity offers. An opportunity for you who has freed yourself, for you who have freed yourself rather, to free others, and for you who has been held bound to become free. So we'll be talking about financial freedom, how we will expose you to international markets, global business opportunities. Think about the businesses you would like to do in Africa, all the way from Asia, the markets that you will want to trade in Europe, from far away India. Just think about those connections. It is what we are bringing to you. Think about the mentorship, the coaching, and the education, the information that you need to be able to live your best and free yourself. Are you struggling with your relationships? Because I believe that our lives directly depend on the quality of our relationships. So we are coming to show you how to manage your relationships, both at home and at work, with yourself and with others. We want to show you how to be the best of yourself. We want to show you how to treat yourself, pamper yourself. We'll be talking about your environment. We'll be talking about climate change. We'll be talking about policies and rules, regulations in the global space concerning you, your products, your services, and your solutions. Whoa. It will not just end at this conference. Humanity is going to be your daily companion as you grow. We will be bringing up experts to expose to us facts about hot topics as they come up. We'll be having fun, winning prizes, and we'll be going with you. We have designed all of this with you in mind. Please come on. Come to where success has been waiting for you. You're welcome.
Beautiful. And if you know anything, especially if you've been watching for the past 2 hours plus, you will see that Womanity is here to empower. And this is no joke because it's time. What time is it? Time to actually come out of everything that has held you back. What time is it? Time for you to break away from whatever belief you've held that is not serving you. And in the words of Anika, I think she said at a conference of this nature, don't try to take too much, don't try to bag too much. Just take one thing that's going to impact your life and change your life. So, what word, what sentence, what quote, what exactly did you get from any of the speakers? Please, I really encourage you to actually put that in the comment section. You know, are you joining us from Facebook? Are you joining us from YouTube? Are you on our website? Please make sure you just write something so that everyone can actually see what you learned. Everyone can actually see something. Anyone who's joining us right now can actually pick a word from you. I personally have taken a whole lot, and I know you have taken too much as well.
Same.
One of the things I remember I wrote down so strongly when Raya Story spoke, she said something. I think I wrote that down. The more solid your foundations, the easier it is to grow through change and not just go through change. And you know, when I just heard that, I was like, wow, that's deep. That's deep. What have we fed ourselves? What's the building block on which we've raised every other thing? Is that foundation faulty? Could that be the reason why we cannot go higher because we're shaken underneath? It means a whole lot for me to be a part of Womanity because a lot has changed. Just listening to people like Tony Lynch, just listening to Tina, just listening to Anika and Raya's story. So whatever it is you've actually learned, put it in the comments. And speaking about Womanity, the business aspect of this, we are actually here to make sure that you don't miss out on all the opportunities that have been looking you in the face that you may not have been seeing before. There is mentorship available. There is business available. There are opportunities, especially some of our speakers have already given a whole lot of offers to us. You should start taking advantage of those as we roll out the rest of them. The website is still the womanityinitiative.com. And everything that we have, everything that is unfolding from today, it's going to be on there. There is a whole lot to gain. You just don't have to lose out. You have to take action, take advantage.
Wow.
I'm excited.
I'm filled. I am almost spilling.
What has really changed for you? Here and now, today, in this 3 hours, in this 2 hours plus, what has really changed for you?
I have been worried about rewarding myself because I will not wait for anyone to reward me. I just found a way of rewarding myself.
Would you share? Would you share? Would
The
you share?
most rewarding part of my life will be the number of people that would be taking advantage of this initiative. The solutions that will be birthed from this conference. So far, about 13 persons have closed financial deals right before here. So I am very rewarded already, and I cannot wait to share my love with the world. Again, I want to meet everyone face to face sometime soon and give them the warmest hug ever, which is why the next Womanity Conference will be live at a physical location where people will come together, connect, network, do businesses, fall in love, stay low, and grow. Guys, you have been awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
We want to say a very, very huge thank you to every speaker who made it here, who have been a part of this. It's been awesome. From Lady Raya's story, we thank you so much. It's a whole lot of love from our hearts. To Lady Tina, it means a whole lot that you were here with us. And you know it already. We love you so much. Anika, that was powerful. And then what's that sport? What's that sport?
Kickboxing.
Yeah, kickboxing. And we're like, what? She looked so. Are you for real? Thank you so much. Your words really meant a whole lot. Tony Lynch. Yes, Patrina, right? The lady, very, very awesome. Thank you so much. I love your words. And I think she's joining us once again. Patrina.
You know, there is no way that I would miss any opportunity to just comment. I mean, I would say, hold on. I'm having, yes, let me turn that off. I would not miss the opportunity to just applaud. As we talked about Eunice and her vision, I remember when she was, it was like, was she giving birth then, or was she in her first trimester? So I would say she was in her first trimester. And you never know when you get pregnant if it's going to be a miscarriage. But I love that she carried this baby to term. Her vision crystallized in a book. The 12 laws, I just have a feeling it's going to be, almost as good as Moses, those 10 commandments. You've got the 12 laws of humanity. And I believe if we walk them, we've got anti-fragility, we've got confidence, we've got EQ, just so many at the right time. When you look at this moment in history, just at Tubman, she came back to free people, free their bodies and free their minds. Not everybody was ready. I don't think there was anybody that regretted, though, when they took the step and moved to the North and moved to a place for physical freedom, moved to a place of liberation, where they decided, just like a womanity, right? It's deciding that you deserve more. It's deciding that you are not a victim of your circumstances, that you have choices. And in exercising those choices, just like Harriet Tubman, we can all move to freedom. So free your mind, lift humanity with humanity. I just love the experience today. Thank you so much for blessing us. And we are all in this together. Unveiling, look at this, unveiled 28th November. I am so proud of you, Dr. Thomas. Go ahead and walk in the power and the gifting that God has given you, the vision that God has given you, the vision that we have picked up and are carrying with you. Thank you so much for realizing that lighting other people's light doesn't diminish yours. It just creates more light on the world. And isn't that what we all need? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my diamond sister. I'm getting
Diamond.
emotional
Yes,
now.
my diamond.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is a big congratulations once again to the lady Eunice Thomas. We are all blessed to have you. This is a dream come true. This is something you've given birth to and you've nurtured, and it has gotten to this point. And it means a whole lot that I am part of this. Our team, we want to thank you so much. It means a whole lot for us to be able to achieve this together. Every speaker, everyone who's joined us, it's amazing. The 12 Laws of Womanity, it's very, very awesome. A very awesome book you should lay your hands on
Comes with a
as it's
workbook.
unveiled today. Very, very wonderful. Like we said, the womanityinitiative.com, that's the website. Every information you're looking for every offer you can take advantage of today, it's available there. And like Lady Patrina said, humanity is deciding that you deserve more. We're here for everybody. Womanity is here for everybody. It's here for the women, it's here for the men. And it's a big day that this has started out. Don't lose out. Change the way you think. Take everything you have learned. Take action with them. Go out, be stronger. We're better together. No division anymore. I think if you learn one thing or two today, you would not enter 2021 the same with anything that has held you back in 2020. Corona, no. Corona didn't hold you back. It was your mind. Change something today, and 2021 will thank you for it.
So is this how we say goodbye?
I'll be thinking of you. Goodbye.
We'll be loving you all the way. Thank you so much.